How much body fat can you realistically lose over a week? Now, the literature would suggest that an average individual can lose 1 to 2 pounds per week of body fat. But if you're an individual with more to lose, this number could be as high as 3 to 5 pounds per week. That being said, the deficit required to lose that amount of weight would feel really shit. Now, as I say all this, you might be thinking, Danny, 1 to 2 pounds a week? I can lose that in a day, which is true, but it's probably not fat mass that you're losing in that period of time. We know that it takes about 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound of fat. So if you're consuming a 500 calorie deficit per day across 7 days, that's about a pound. So where are we getting these short-term body weight changes from? Well, there's a few things that could be happening here. Number one is stored muscle glycogen from carbohydrates. For every 1 gram of glycogen stored, we need 3 grams of water in order to store it into the cells. So 1 gram of glycogen stored in the body actually accounts for about 4 grams of total weight gain. Now, depending on who you are, you could store anywhere between 300 and 800 grams of glycogen in your body, both in the muscles and in the liver. So in glycogen alone, from depleted states to a repleted state, that could be the difference of 3 kg in just a day. Now, if you're someone who's worried about your body weight, you might tend to think, well, then I don't really want that muscle glycogen. But here's the thing. It's just this. It's emptying my pockets. That weight isn't me. It's something I can either take on a transient state, but I can also remove. In this case, the scales really aren't important. Remember, it's going to take me 3,500 calories in total to burn 1 pound of body fat. Yes, I know this is a dog tug, but bear with me. Losing a pound of fat mass is a meaningful change in my actual body composition. Whether or not I'm holding on to glycogen, stored water, and actual just general foodstuffs, I think I'll put that in there, aren't really affecting my fat mass or my muscle mass. We've probably all experienced this, right? If you've gone for a night out and you've maybe had, this is salt by the way, big night out with the guys and girls, maybe finished it with a nice salty kebab, we're going to take on even more water into these now non-existent pockets. And you might wake up the next morning weighing, well, let's just say a shitload more. Here's the thing. If you changed absolutely nothing and just went back to routine, eventually the sodium levels would go down, which means the water levels would go down. You'd go back to your regular level of carbohydrate intake, which means your glycogen stores would go back to where they normally are. And as a byproduct, you'd lose even more water. You've gone back to your regular state, and you've probably neither gained nor lost any fat mass. Which raises the question, is the scale a useful tool for when we're trying to measure body fat changes? Now, in the short term, the answer is no. Your weight could vary day to day by 3 kilos based on all of these things. But if we accept that and we do things to try and separate our value from a number on the scale, we can start to use the overall trend for a longer period of time. Yes, across a 7-day period, it might go up or down 3 kgs. But if we measure that week on week on week, we can only hold so much glycogen and so much water. So let's think of it as our top end bracket and our low end bracket are only 3 kgs apart. And if we see those brackets consistently go down, maintain, or go up, then we know which trajectory we're on. So please, remember, don't demonize this stuff or this stuff, because the body weight changes that it causes are literally like filling your pockets. It's just as easy to bring it in than it is to bring it out. And it's not an actual change in your body composition. And continue to use the scales, by all means. But consider tracking more frequently and putting less importance on day-to-day measurements. The more data we have across a longer period of time allows us to act based on the overall trend as opposed to how much I weighed today.